Welcome to the lab session for today. We'll try to make an attempt of building project 3, okay? And we did that in last week. We tried to simulate a prototype circuits in multisim life. That was Astable multivibrator or Astable oscillator circuits. So that's what we're going to try to build with our project kits. So let's look at the items. Okay, I've tried to open the box, and then the items are here. And so, okay, that's my 9 volts battery. I've got my 9 volts battery, okay, and that's going to be the source of my DC power. That's the breadboard. You have started using it already. I've got the battery cap as well, so I'm going to be using all that stuff. So the components are, you need 1 kilo ohms, so you have to look for 1 kilo ohms, okay. So that's 1 kilo ohms here. If you look at it, you have black, you have brown, black, and then red. So those are the 3 colors. Thus it is 1 kilo ohms. So I need 2 pieces of that. So you cut off 2. Okay, you can cut that off and then take 2 out of it. We also need 2 100 kilo ohms resistor. So, and then that's for my 100 kilo ohms. So you have brown, black, yellow. Well, that's it. And then the tolerance is gold, but we don't need tolerance in this case. So you get 2 pieces of that as well. Then you have your transistors. This is BC547. It's written on it, BC547 transistor. So you take 2 out of it, okay? You cut out 2. And then we have light-emitting diodes, different types. I have green. So that's green. And then that's red, okay. And then I need 2 electrolytic capacitors, 10 microfarads. And so this is electrolytic capacitor. If you look at the legs, you can see one is longer than the other one. So that's the long one. Okay, that's the positive, and the short one is a negative. So if you look at by the side of the short one, you can see a white line. Yep. So the white line shows that that's the negative parts, okay. So it's polarized, so that's why it's called electrolytic. You can see one part is long and then the other is short. So the long is a positive and that's the negative. So it's the same for the LEDs. If you look at your LEDs, don't forget we have for the LEDs as well, you have a long part and a short part, okay. That's the long is the positive side, the anode, and then the long one, the short one, that's the cathode. So the current goes through the long leg and goes out through the short one. So that's it. And that's all we've got for the circuit. All right, so these are the components. I just took all of them out and I'm going to start building them. So you can start building from anywhere, okay. I like to put my transistor first of all. So this is my BC547, okay. Now BC547, I'm going to face it to myself. If you look at the back, that's how it is. So that's facing it to myself, okay. And then if you face it to yourself, you have 3 legs. The first one here is the collector, and the middle leg is the base, and the last leg is the emitter. Okay, so you can see the emitter is connected to ground. So I want to connect one to ground, so the emitter is connected to ground. That's what I'm trying to achieve. So I can now put this in any other two places. Okay, see what I've done. Okay, so one goes to ground. Now it's very dynamic. You can actually connect it the way you want it. Okay, so it must not be this way, but I'm just trying to demonstrate, trying to separate the legs. I want to use the first line here in the first section as my ground. Okay, and then the second line I will use as my positive of the voltage supply. So that's the first one. Then I get the second one. These are the three legs. So that's the first one is the emitter, the base, and then the collector. Okay, so you just do the same thing. So I've just done the two of them. You can see how they are connected. Right, that's fine. So quickly, I want to connect my capacitors. Now that's the capacitor. Okay, so the first one is connected to the other one, so you can look at one is connected to the collector of the one transistor, and the other leg is connected to the base. So the one that is connected to T1 in the circuit diagram, it's connected to the collector of T1 and then to the base of T2. So the part that goes to T1 is the positive side. The long leg goes to T1 collector. So that's the collector. The first leg is a collector. Okay, so I connect that to the first leg. That's the first leg, and it goes to the base of the second one. So I try to stretch it a little bit longer. You can actually adjust this stuff so that it can be a little bit close. So let me just bring them a bit closer. Right, just trying to make them stay a bit closer. But the legs are long enough so you can do that. That's the long leg going to, that's the collector, and then the base. So that's it. Okay, collector and base. Okay, so you do similar T1. So I'm going to connect from T1 to T2. Okay, or the other way around, from T2 to T1. So T2, it goes to the collector of T2. That's the collector of T2, and then to the base. Okay, so I've collected. I'm sure you're seeing this very clearly. So that's what I've done. So the collector of T2, and then to the base of T1. The first one is from T1, from collector of T1 to the base of T2, and then the next connection is from T2 collector to the base of T1. So I've done that. I make sure it's firm. The next thing, I'm going to connect my I get my 100 kilo ohms. That's 100 kilo ohms. If you look at it very well, you can see sorry, okay, that's my 100 kilo ohms, right? I'll say, so I'm going to connect that to it's connected to the base of each of them to the ground. So the base, you just put it in the base, and then the ground. Okay, that's fine. Just did that. So that's how I connected my ground. Okay, and I'm going to do the similar thing to the other one quickly. It goes to the base of the second one and to the ground. So I've connected it to resistors. Okay, the next thing, you connect your LEDs. The LED comes from the positive side, so that's the long one of the LED. So I put that to the positive side. So that's the positive side for me. The long leg, and then you put it anywhere. You try not to allow the legs to meet themselves. Try to separate the legs so that they don't try to touch each other. That could cause short circuiting. Okay, so that's it. So the LED is limited by a 1K resistor. That's 1K for you. Okay, you likely may not see it very clearly, but that's it. It's brown, red, no, brown, black, and red. Okay, so that goes into one leg of the LED, and the other one goes to the collector. So that's the collector. And then quickly, you do the same for the other one. That the second LED, it goes to where my source is. So that's where my source is, and I collect that. Okay, and then the other one goes to the collector. So I connect that to the collector. All right, so I'm done. I finished everything. I need to power my circuits. Okay, and I get the battery cap for that. So that's the battery cap quickly. And then now for the battery cap, the first line is my negative. So you need to put that just this way. So the first line is my black, and then the second line is my red. Okay, so it's time to power the circuit. Finish everything, and that's my battery cap. So you just put it, and then we'll see what happens. right? So that's it, and then that's what you get at the end of the day. Okay, so this is what we call Astable. You can see they come at different times, and the batteries here, they come at different times. Right. Okay. Thank you very much. If you have questions, let me know.